You wake at 4:30 a.m. to the sound of a bell. You dress in silence. You eat in silence. You work in silence. You live among 200 people, but you will never marry, never have children, never own anything. This is life in a Shaker village in Ohio, 1835. And you chose this. Your name is Thomas. You're 34 years old. You've been a Shaker for 5 years. Before that, you had a different life. A wife, a farm, a future that looked like everyone else's. Then your wife died in childbirth. The baby died too, and you didn't know what to do with the grief. A Shaker brother came through your town, preaching about a different way to live. A life without the distractions of marriage, property, ambition. A life devoted entirely to God, to work, to simplicity. You sold everything you owned. You walked away from your old life. And you came here. You rise from your bed in the Brethren's dormitory, a long, simple room with 20 beds arranged in perfect rows. Everything is clean, orderly, plain. You dress in your work clothes, simple wool trousers, a linen shirt, a vest. No decoration, no color, just function. The Shakers believe that beauty comes from simplicity, that ornament is vanity, that everything should be made well, but nothing should be made fancy. You walk downstairs in silence. The sisters are already awake, moving through their morning routines in the women's quarters on the other side of the building. Men and women live separately here. They eat separately, work separately, worship separately. Contact between the sexes is minimal and carefully controlled. This is how the Shakers maintain their vow of celibacy. Breakfast is at 5 a.m. You file into the dining hall with the other brethren and sit at long wooden tables. The sisters sit on the other side of the room. No one speaks. A sister reads from scripture while you eat. Porridge, bread, milk. Simple food. Clean food. Nothing wasted. You finish eating. You clear your plate. You return it to the kitchen, still in silence. Your work is carpentry. The Shakers are famous for their furniture, simple, elegant, perfectly made. Every joint is precise. Every surface is smooth. Every piece is built to last 100 years. Hands to work, hearts to God. Mother and used to say. Mother and Lee, the founder of the Shakers, who died 50 years ago, but whose teachings still guide every aspect of life here. You spend your morning in the workshop, building chairs. There are 6 other brethren working alongside you. The only sounds are the rasp of saws, the tap of hammers, the scrape of planes smoothing wood. No one talks. Conversation during work is discouraged. Idle chatter is considered a distraction from communion with God. You don't mind the silence anymore. At first, it was suffocating. Now, it's comforting. You focus on the chair, the grain of the wood, the angle of the joints, the balance of the seat. This chair will be sold to someone in the outside world, what the Shakers call the world. That money will support the community. Everything here is shared. No one owns anything privately. No one gets paid individually. You work, you eat, you sleep, and everything you need is provided. It's a strange kind of freedom. At noon, the bell rings for the midday meal. You walk to the dining hall. Again, in silence. Again, men on one side, women on the other. You notice one of the sisters, Sister Abigail. She's been here longer than you. She's kind, hardworking. You've spoken to her maybe 3 times in 5 years, always about work. You wonder sometimes what her life was like before, why she came here, what she left behind. But you'll never ask, and she'll never tell. That's not how this works. After the meal, you return to the workshop. More chairs, always more chairs. Your hands move automatically now. You've made hundreds of these, maybe thousands. Each one perfect, each one the same. In the afternoon, you help in the garden. The Shakers grow most of their own food. The gardens are immaculate, rows of vegetables planted with mathematical precision. Nothing out of place, nothing wasted. You work alongside Brother Samuel, a man in his 50s who's been here for 20 years. He moves slowly, deliberately, like everything he does is a prayer. Maybe it is. The Shakers believe that work is worship, that every task, no matter how small, should be done as if God himself were watching. You pull weeds. You water plants. You harvest beans. The sun is warm. The air smells like earth and growing things. For a moment, you feel peace. Not happiness exactly. The Shakers don't chase happiness. They chase purity, order, devotion. But there's peace in that. A kind of calm you never found in the world. At 6 p.m., the bell rings for supper. The same routine. The same silence. The same plain food. After supper, there's a brief period of free time. Some brethren read. Some write letters. Some sit quietly and pray. You walk outside and stand at the edge of the village, looking out at the fields beyond. In the distance, you can see the road that leads back to the world. You think about your old life sometimes. Your wife, the farm, the future you thought you'd have. Do you regret coming here? You're not sure. This life is hard in a different way. Not physically, though the work is constant, but emotionally, spiritually. You live among people, but you're fundamentally alone. You work alongside others, but you'll never truly know them. You've traded one kind of isolation for another. But at least here, the isolation has purpose. At 7:30 p.m., the bell rings for evening worship. This is the most important part of the day, the reason the Shakers exist. You file into the meeting house with the other brethren. The sisters enter from the other side. The room is large, plain, beautiful in its simplicity. No pews, no decorations, just open space and wooden floors polished to a shine. You stand in rows, brethren on one side, sisters on the other. And then the singing begins. The Shakers are famous for their songs. Simple melodies, strange, ecstatic lyrics. Music that sounds like nothing else in America. You begin to move. Not dancing exactly. More like marching, swaying, turning in careful, controlled patterns. This is the Shaker worship. The shaking that gave the sect its name. It looks strange to outsiders. Some call it madness. But to you, it's release. All the silence, all the discipline, all the control, it pours out in this moment. You sing, you move, you let go. For 30 minutes, the meeting house is filled with sound and motion and something close to joy. And then it stops. The bell rings. You file out. Back to silence. You return to your room at 8 p.m. You kneel by your bed and pray. Not out loud. Just silent words to a God you hope is listening. You climb into bed. Tomorrow, you'll wake at 4:30 a.m. The bell will ring. You'll dress, eat, work, worship. The same routine. Forever. The Shakers don't believe in marriage. They don't believe in children. They grow only through conversion. People from the world who choose this life. But fewer people are choosing it now. The world is changing. America is changing. And this way of life, this radical, beautiful, impossible way of life, is starting to fade. You wonder how long it will last. You wonder if you'll be here when it ends. But for now, you close your eyes. And you sleep in silence. This was life in a Shaker village in 1835. A world of silence, simplicity, and devotion. A community that rejected marriage, wealth, and everything the rest of America was chasing. At their peak, there were 6,000 Shakers living in communities across America. Today, there are fewer than 5. The furniture they made still exists, perfect, beautiful, timeless. But the people who made it are gone. You, Thomas, carpenter, widower, believer, lived the rest of your life in that village. You built chairs. You tended gardens. You worshipped in silence. And when you died, you left nothing behind. No children, no property, no name carved into stone. Just work and faith and the memory of a way of life too pure to survive. Old America Diaries, real life, real history, one state at a time.